Whew. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That was super loud. I'm using these new headphones, and God, I'm glad I did, because that just totally doesn't randomize everything when I got it literally blasting, full blast in my ears, and I cannot figure out how to turn it down. Very annoying. Oh, you just have to bear with me for a minute because that was freaking loud, and I'm not doing that again. I'm awake, everyone. Welcome to the show. And hang in there for a minute because I got to figure this out. Crazy loud. Crazy loud. That's what I get for trying new stuff, huh? No, nothing freaking works. Okay. So fun. Wow. And that's like a different one too. Wow, that's very annoying. Very annoying. Well, I think that'll be a short-lived experiment. Anyways, welcome to the show. I'm back. Tried some new headphones and the wired ones, and all kinds of not happy with them because the wire's in my way and I can't, I have to ignore it when I'm typing. I like my Bluetooth ones much more. Hopefully. Oh, anyways, I hate changing equipment. It's just, nobody even complained about this one. It was just like, yeah, I'll try these new headphones. Maybe they're better. And no, nothing is better. I'm going back to the experience. Anyways, welcome to chat. Hi to the chat. Red Squirrel, what's happening? Just did a bunch of pull-ups and I'm extra tired. So thought I need to do something. I was going to go for a run. I said, okay, I'll go for a run after the stream. And so I did. You know what? I don't have a guest. So why even have headphones in my ears? Why do I even have them? Boom, gone. Headphones are gone. Fox, what's up, Fox? Fox Monitor, Maxi rugged. Yeah, not today. I'm plus or minus 15 minutes. So that's when I schedule stream. Have no expectations. Happy Sunday, by the way, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good morning from Copenhagen. Yep. This is a staircase from crypto episode. It's actually really weird doing this. Microphone's in my ear, but I assume everyone can hear me great. I'm sure. This was Staircase to Heaven. This was motivated by our friend Somi. I was watching this video earlier, which I also posted on Twitter. And I wanted to talk about why it isn't so crazy that PulseChain stuff is happening the way it is. So anyway, to get to the chat, we'll get into it. Let's talk about AMA. Put your questions in the chat. Howdy, PDC. What's up? Nick P. How much does it run Validator per month? $400 to $600 purely estimated. Whoa, that's really high. Yeah, I know. I've actually looked at DigitalOcean and some other providers. It is weirdly hard to like sign up with another provider. Literally, I sign up with this one and they're like, hey, we need to verify all this information. Like, and I'm like, what do you mean? I already connected to payment. I already verified my email, all this stuff. And they're like, oh, we've had a lot of, scammers or whatever come through recently. I'm like, okay, I'm literally trying to migrate from AWS to your provider, and you're asking me for all this information, all these hoops to jump through, all this friction. Why would I do that? Why would I do? Like, you're the small provider. You're supposed to be more attractive to me to get people away from the bigger ones. And then I went to do another one, and they don't have the instance. They'll only give me like 8 gigs of RAM. I need at least 16, preferably 32. So I request them. They're like, oh, request one. So I requested one, and they're like, you have no billing history, so we can't give you the other one. I'm like, wait, I'm trying to migrate to your provider from another one, which I have tons of billing history with. And you're telling me you can't give me something. I'm trying to I'd say the cost will be like, hopefully half, $200 to $400 a month. You can't give me an instance because I have no billing history. I want to create billing history with you, but I can't because you won't give me the instance. So am I supposed to just go with the smaller instance, get billed for a month or two, and then upgrade when the other one can't even do what I want it to do? It's ridiculous. I'm like, how do you guys ever going to, like, there's a reason you're not number one in cloud. There's a reason you can't even, like, business sense. Like, it's only a few $100s. If my credit card doesn't go through, you're only going to lose a few $100s. So what's the problem? Ridiculous. What's up, Chad Donish Funds? What's happening? So that's anyways, I'm still looking at other providers. It's much more trouble than I thought. Geez. So like I understand why AWS is number one. You have Azure, you have GCP, Microsoft and Google's clouds. But I just feel like if I go to them, I've used them before, but if I go to them, I'm not going to be much cheaper. I want to go to a much cheaper cloud provider. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like how I want to give you money, but you won't let me give you money because I don't have billing history. I can't have billing history unless you let me give you. It's just this dumb, like, I feel like it's a credit card thing in the US too. It's like, I want to buy this thing, but I have no credit history. But I want to buy the thing, so I need credit history to buy. It's like, I don't know, charge me 20% more, or set a bounds for the number of dollars you're willing to let me use before you start charging my card. There's all of what kinds of ways to do this. They're just, again, that's why they're not number one. That's why they're not able to keep up, apparently, because they won't even go out of their way to get your business. What's up, Bobby19? How's it going? Hey, Finbear, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Just don't use AWS. Why though? Sorry, I'm not trying to be irritated or anything. I'm just, people say this. Why? Like, don't use cloud. NUC is cheap. What about power outages? Now you got to pay for electricity. Now you got to pay for internet. What if your internet's not good? Now you got to do your own backups. Like, the cloud providers serve a purpose. I did a whole thread about this. Like, everyone who says use it at home, or I would say most people, probably have never used the cloud. So they're just let me know, Keeper's Way. Again, I'm not, calm down a little bit, Max. I'm a little excited because I've been exercising a lot recently. I'm out of breath a little bit, and the freaking headphones were blasting my head a second ago. But I don't buy this. The cloud is bad. As a tech professional, I've used the cloud for years. It works great. It's more expensive. That's the thing. So I'm trying to find another cloud provider. So I wouldn't give anyone advice. Don't use the cloud. I know most people won't use it anyways because they're using other providers. They're using or they're using it at home, or they don't know how to do it or whatever. And people have different circumstances. So yeah, NUC is cheap. Cool. Now you got to babysit it in the middle of your, that's the thing. I don't want to, you got to have another router, or otherwise, have you used another router? Like, are you sure about your security and stuff? Like, there's a lot that goes into it. So let me bring up that tweet. I want to make sure people aren't not using the cloud because they think like at home's the only option, or it's like some like much better option or something. I don't buy that, and I've been doing this a while, so that's just not my. Yeah, I think it was the music blaring in my ear, and now that I'm not wearing microphones, it made me a little annoyed. So it's not you, Keeper's Way. I mean, it's a fine topic to bring up. It's just I want to make sure we're talking objectively on this and on both sides of it. Oh, I just registered a random Twitter account so I don't have to use my own, and I can just scroll and find stuff. But let me scroll down. I'll just search for it in a second if I don't find it. I think I'm close. I think I'm close. All right, maybe I'll just search for it and hope I can remember what terms I used. All right. From RHMax list, I'm just going to say cloud. I'll probably find it. Boom, here we go. Drop this in the chat. So at home, UPS battery backup. So you have to worry about it going offline. You have to worry about the security. You got to have a separate router. You have to worry about it staying on and like making sure it's working and all this other maintenance. Where if you're using the VPS or using the cloud, there's nothing I can think of. You don't have to do any of that because they have all these guarantees around uptime, especially AWS. I'm talking about AWS in particular right now. Like I said, it's more expensive. Like here's all the things. I'm calling on both sides. It is more expensive, obviously. It's better for decentralization that most people run validators at home, and just in case they get some crazy idea to start rugging a bunch of validators, which is a risk, but it's not very likely, but it's a thing. It's not for everyone. Some people don't know how to use it. That's fine. But it's a trade-off. There's no right or wrong, this or that. There's nothing harder or easier depending on your skill set and your level and what you're trying to achieve. There are a lot of advantages to using it in the cloud. A ton of advantages. These are just like the most obvious ones off the top of my head. Yeah, I barely look at my stats. Every couple weeks or so, I'll look at it, make sure it's still getting, still 100% on the beacon chain. I can take vacations, none of that stuff. Penalty for being offline like a day or two's how does that compare to being in cost of a cloud instance? So how do you evaluate the cost? So the cost is a function of the APR, the pulse price, and how many validators you're running. So it can be different. That's what I'm saying. If you're running 100 validators, and even today, I haven't did the math. There's an extra spreadsheet for this. Even today, if you did the math, what if 100 validators even makes up for whatever the pulse price is today? Like, what if you're still making money on the cloud? I have a feeling you are actually. I have a feeling, I haven't did the math, but I have a feeling if you're running 50 or 100 validators, no matter what, like even at the pulse price today, you may be within the ballpark. And then you got to say, okay, do you think the pulse price is going to go up? So even if you're running 1, 2, or 5 validators or 10 in a year or two, if you believe the pulse price is going to go up, for me, I'm like, I don't even think I have to worry about it in the future. If I'm running 10 validators now, for example, and in the future, and it's like, okay, there's still not the ROI coming out each month. I'm still like, minus in each month. That's with pulse price being under sack rate. What if it's way above sack rate later? I'm betting on it. Isn't everyone betting on the pulse price to go up? Isn't that why a lot of people are here, right? You bet on the pulse price to go up. And what we've been saying, 10x, 100x, 10,000x. If you think it's going to go up, maybe this stuff doesn't matter in the future. That's why a lot of people are using the cloud, because there's a lot of advantages. The amount you waste in an instance, you buy more pulse. It's the same thing. Like it's the same argument of like not drinking coffee. Like, you're going to buy the coffee, you're going to DCA. It's like how much money, how much time do you want to trade for money? Again, for each person their own thing. For me, I would rather spend money to save time. I would rather spend more money on a cloud instance, even though the ROI isn't there today, because I don't have to, it takes peace of mind, right? I don't have to worry about outages. I don't have to worry about bandwidth. I don't have to worry about security in a lot of, those aspects we talked about. So there's not this one size. Again, we can have this debate all day. I know all the points. I feel like you could maybe give me a couple new points if you have them, but I think I've looked at both angles on this. And I think cloud works for a lot of people and home works for a lot of people. And it's not this like anti-cloud sentiment as if like, don't do in the cloud because it's more expensive. That's, again, are you trading your time for money or your money for time? I think people do different things. Home is better decentralized. Yeah, it is. It's like keeping your money at home or keeping the bank. They have their advantages. It's not like one right or wrong answer. You keep your money at home, yeah, you have more control over it. It's more decentralized, all that stuff. But the bank has a lot of advantages too. Like if you just look at it objectively, the bank has a lot of advantages keeping your money. There's a reason most people keep their money in the bank. They're not idiots. They're not stupid people. Some of them are, but like some of them, don't think about all the risk of bank runs and stuff like that too. But, or, them it not being your money. I get all that. Let's forget that angle for a second. Let's just say there is a reason custodial services exist. There is a reason people don't run websites from their home. They use hosted, providers and stuff. I still don't think, what you think it takes more time than cloud? No, more time is saving me time, for example, saving me time thinking about it going down or having to maintain it, or what I'm going to do if power goes out, or what I'm going to do. I already figured out the security side and stuff, but it's trading it for the, I just already talked about this stuff. Tell me why home takes more time. No, that's not what I'm saying. All right, I'm getting off this thread. Okay, so here's a centralized angle. I'll say one more on this centralized angle before we move on. There are thousands, validators that are running at home. I'm glad most people run it at home. But wouldn't you be okay? I'm okay with this. I would just pose this question. Wouldn't you be okay if there was 5% of validators who were in the cloud because people saw the value in putting them in the cloud? They didn't want to manage them themselves. There's going to be Rocket Pool and all these other like delegated services too. Are you against like delegated? Are you going against if Alex from Hedron forks Rocket Pool? Is that like, you maybe you wouldn't like that either? I mean, a lot of people like it though, so that's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's just about, I prefer to spend more money to get more features too. There's snapshots, there's backup features. I wrote about all this stuff on the GitHub. Like I have tons of like stuff of like why there's these cool extra features. So cloud is for people who want to offload a lot of that stuff. They don't want to think about it. They have the money to spend and say, okay, I don't care if it's cost more right now. I believe over time it'll be profitable. Right now, I don't want to manage it. Let the cloud manage a lot of those aspects that I don't want to manage at home. And then there's most people, thankfully, so I'm thankful that most people want to run them at home. That's cool. I don't like the bashing of cloud. It's like this. It's not an answer. There's something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for everyone. So again, I'm glad most people, I hope 95% of people run validators at home and they're comfortable doing that and they want to do that. I want that. But the cloud is another option and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, does it fit what you're looking for? All right, I'm going to scroll back up. Yeah, let's go to PulseChain. Good conversation. Thank you, Keepers Away. You know, help me elaborate on some of these points too. So good conversation. Can you demo the portfolio tracker on GoPulse? I heard something about that actually. I don't know if I can or not because I'm not going to connect a wallet, but track the bags, add your first address. We could track other people's bags. Let me just find like a random whale on Fatty. Whale watch. Got the account. Oh wait, let's just find like known dumpers. Yeah, let's just pick one of these, like the first one. Just public information here. Public address, add your first address. See what it says. My portfolio, $6 million. This is pretty cool. Yeah, actually, yeah, I bet a lot of people are using this. Hex, 3 stakes on PulseChain, 3 on Ethereum. Probably the ones that got copied over. Shark, that's cool. It shows like the shark thing. Shows me T shares. Wow, that is nice. They did a really good job with this. How do I click off though? Why can't I click off? I have to click back. Why? Okay. PulseX, $1 million. You can look at the chart. Okay, you click on that and find the chart of what they're looking at too. Cool. They got Pepe. They got Hedron. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. New portfolio tracker on GoPulse. I like it. What's up, Paul? Happy Sunday. You've been playing much in Richard Casino? Yeah, so that's what I want to explain too. The casino, you know, so one analogy is to look at, and this may be what he exactly may be saying, is a casino, being the casino is PulseX, like I guess, you know, holding the coin where the buy and burn is happening on, you hold the platform coin, tokenomics around that, and that runs the casino, which is where people play with different coins and pairs and all the copies and stuff. And playing at the casino is like so the investing aspect of it is one way to look at it. Not financial advice in any way. I'm just talking about the way I'm thinking about these things. And then playing with the copies and stuff could be the casino part, you know, gambling, kind of speculating, and then bringing people in. So I want to get to the staircase part too in a second. But let me go through let me finish up chat. Oh, Pepe Farms up. Interesting. I know that. So is that from Richard? I'm not promoting anyone participate in any of these copy farms or anything like that, or anything in general, but I'm just curious because that wasn't there earlier. Okay, yeah, there you go. So yeah, Richard talked about it only had like $100 some thousand liquidity. And then now there is $500,000. So apparently that was enough to participate in the farm. 1,000% APR. Wow, 2 farms. So there's a Pepe for Pulse Pepe and Ethereum Pepe, and there's Pepe and Rat Pulse farm, both. Wow. Okay, well, the 1,000% farms are back apparently. I'll talk more about this tomorrow because I got Dipcatcher, maybe cryptographics. I got RHMax maybe coming on as well around the same time tomorrow. And we'll talk about Dipcatcher did a lot of analysis on the WPTC, maybe some moves from the OA or otherwise that could be interesting around that. So I want to talk more about that tomorrow because I want him to speak on it. But yeah, Pepe farms are up. Wow, I didn't think there were going to be 2. There's a Pepe Pulse and a Pepe. So there we go. Look at the pair info. I saw the volume kept going up on this, or the liquidity kept going up like crazy. I wonder how much of this is the AMM bots contributing. So Dylan, I had clipped a video of this too, but Dylan was talking about only 2% of the liquidity has been provided from what the AMM bot scooped up when it went around getting all the cheap pairs and stuff on launch. So I wonder how much to the moon. I tend to say that whenever I see a hockey stick deal. Again, this is understand what you're doing before you participate in any of these farms, any of these pools. Who knows how long they're going to last. I have faith in the blue chips. However, the onboarding aspect is, another reason that we're talking about this stuff today. Oh, I love the jab, Hollywood trader. You got a dose of what some of us get with your. Change the outro, by the way. You'll be happy to know I'm not turned down anymore, though. My media guy, Markable. I didn't even ask him. He just happened to watch one of my streams, and he was like, "Hey, I saw people talking about it. I saw you talking about it," and he sent me new versions with a lower volume. So I did it once, and I'm like, "All right, I'm not going to keep changing stuff that." I want to focus on stuff that matters, like the content. Like, again, I don't want perfection around the volume or the media or the sound or any of that stuff. I want to bring you content like what you hope, if you're liking what you see now, for example, and talk about stuff like this. So I want to bring you content like that and focus on that. Everything else is like all the time I'm spending adjusting the microphone or adjusting the sound or changing the media or changing this and that. All the time I'm doing that, I'm not spending tweeting about interesting stuff you may find interesting, or I find interesting at least, and creating content. Like all that's taking brain power away from me doing this. So there's nothing wrong with getting better and stuff on that. But it's not something I want to spend some time on. So I want to spend time. I mean, clipping takes a lot of time too. It's like, okay, should I just not clip videos anymore? Like people seem to like that. Or do I need to clip them? I need to put the link to the original one on every single one, which is actually a lot more work. Like I'm just deprioritizing. I don't want to do stuff like that. I want to focus on the content. What's up, Westcott Crypto? Man, we need some new songs, man. No pressure or anything, but love your stuff. And maybe one day we'll collab. We talked about some stuff and got some lyrics and things floating around, but man, you make some great content. So I really appreciate you. I love to have musicians and people who just love the ecosystem around. Very good. Crypto Truth, good to see you, Masai. Yeah, what's up, Crypto Truth? Good to see you. Tell me what cloud listening. Rocket Pool decentralized. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Like, if 95% of the network is decentralized and 5% are running values at home and 5% is running in the cloud, I guess different people have different bars of decentralization. To me, that's totally fine. Like, I don't, even if it was like way further down, if it was 75-25, it's not going to affect decentralization in a meaningful manner. Talking about backups taking 12 hours sync. I don't know if you're saying sync for blockchain or sync for to back it up itself, but backing the operating system up itself in case there was some corruption error or it gets struck by lightning or like something just kills the disk in one way or another. That's why I would do backup, and I have all this stuff on my GitHub as well. Chris just tweeted about Pepe. Yep, that's why we're talking about it. Not for long though. I just wanted to talk about the farms and stuff going on with that. Champion Truth. Appreciate that, man. Just telling you what I think. What's up, Linus? Good afternoon, France. One country I haven't been to yet. I look forward to visiting one day, though. Been to a lot of places all over the world, but France is not one. Just the airport, but I haven't been to, see the cities or the countryside or anything like that. 5x multiplier on the Pepe. Yeah. Well, Richard said it would have the same as WPTC, which that would be 40x if I remember correctly, but I don't know. Yeah, what is next? Shiba, Link, DAI, Uni? Like, there's a lot of coins to help do this. Yeah, I'd like to get PLS before the rest of your PLSX. Yeah. Not that my buddies talked. I'm not real expert on testosterone and injected popularity numbers, but one of my buddies who's much bigger talked to one of the Mr. Beast guys. I'm not sure. You talking about that? Did I comment on the chocolate bar the other day? Is that what you're talking about? Good to see you, man, but I don't. I'm not getting the reference. If you want to let me know. Homophobic. What's happening? I said it correctly. Very fast today. I'm gonna get a drink and get into the staircase to heaven, and I'm gonna drop my Twitter, which has Somi talking about this as well. And a lot of other commentary. Yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, that's where I talk about stuff I don't talk about on stream. A lot of it I just talk about here, like stuff I'm watching or interested in. This one is a really good one. One I just finished watching and kind of inspired me because he talked about staircase to heaven there too. So, thoughts? Are you talking about linking the original video? Yeah, I did comment on that. Yeah, I do too many clips, man. I just deprioritize. I don't know if you missed the conversation earlier, but I could spend more time on setup and studio and lighting and mic and volume and when I clip, putting all the references to all the things. I used to do that when I first started streaming, but I really just want to have as much least friction as possible, and putting the link and everything, and like clipping it in itself is enough. But like I'm gonna have to, something's got to go because I don't want to spend any more time doing it. I just want to like optimize my time. So I know it doesn't sound like much, but actually doing all this extra stuff, adding all the details, adding all the links and stuff is a lot of work. So I'm just not interested in doing the extra work. So if I know it could be better one day, maybe I'll have someone helping me doing all this stuff. I'll pay for some more out-of-pocket stuff that I don't monetize. I'm not going to monetize just to put extra links and stuff in there. But anyways, that's what that's about. But I always appreciate the feedback. I want to concentrate on the content more than anything else because I think that's the most important thing. So this is a video where he talks about it. Staircase to heaven. So this is what I think people don't zoom out enough on Richard. I mean, people have been around the ecosystem a lot and people who are new. I've seen back and forth. I'm on Twitter. I see people talk about stuff a lot too. I think it's just it's hard to do depending on the different verticals. And I'm trying to make this as concise as possible. But essentially, if you zoom out and think about Richard, I don't think he's just thinking of all these plans. He's just going off of like whatever he feels like every day. I believe he probably has some big whiteboard or some war room. He has all these things. He has all these people that he's been talking about with game theory and going through all these different scenarios and has like option A, B, C, D, E. And he's really put a lot of thought into what to do based on what circumstance, maybe based on what the market does or whatever. Like any founder, we would want any founder to do. We would want any founder to be like, okay, what's the optimal time to launch this app? What's the optimal time to do the upgrades? What's the optimal time to introduce certain features or do certain marketing based on the market conditions or the field ecosystem, stuff like that. So PulseX not being polished. So aren't you glad PulseChain launched, right? Like I think you'd be much more upset if we were in July and PulseChain hadn't launched. PulseChain launched May 12th, May 13th, depending on what time zone you're in. And not everything worked like 100%, right? The bridge didn't even come up for a week or so. And when it did, it got clogged, all this stuff. Now, whether you think any of that was intentional, whether you think it was like, just a, okay thing to happen or whatever that is. This is a guy who has successful with Hex. He's been, successful before crypto. genius billionaire founder. That's this like the simple, way I like to put it. So either you believe in Richard or you don't. And I love the way our friend Somi talks about it too. It's like, if you can't handle the OA, if you can't handle the volatility, if you can't handle all the stuff, just click sell and leave, and just don't bother the rest of us. Like, I love the way he puts that, because it's like such this like simple way of just being like, look, you're either in here or you're not. And if you can't, that's fine. There's a lot of other ecosystems, but people are here. They're here for a reason. If they stay here for long enough, they believe that this guy knows what he's doing. So the staircase to heaven, it's kind of what somebody was talking about in this video too, of, some people believe that Richard is, helping us, preparing us, doing founder things, that would introducing new things at certain, optimal times where the market will respond, and that he will be able to get the most people interested in PulseChain and bring most people in and all that. And when he's talking about the copies, I don't think he's talking to Hexkins and Pulsekins as much either as he's talking about everyone else. So wouldn't it be better if all the people who weren't in already, he's talking about this before, he's like, I'm not, even during streams, he's like, I'm not talking to people who are already in, I'm talking to new people. Because if you're already in, you're in. And it's more likely that you're going to stay in than leave, more likely. So wouldn't it be better for him to focus his efforts on onboarding more people? How do you do that? PulseChain forked Ethereum 2.0, and with it brought all the copies of all the coins, Link, ETH, Maker, Uni, blah, all this stuff. So with Wrap Bitcoin, and now with Pepe and all this stuff, he wants, and I think we all should want, there'd be more people that aren't already in to come to the ecosystem. Now, should we feel good about there being more opportunities for gambling or whatever else that we think there may be going on in the ecosystem? That's for you to decide. However, if you look at it objectively, again, you zoom out and you think, how do you get the most people in an ecosystem? How do you get the most people somewhere that's cheaper, faster, better network, bigger growth potential, a lot of people say, all that stuff. How do you get them over from any other network? You incentivize them. You can do that with farms. You can do it with LP. You can do it by giving them the world's largest airdrop. And whether you thought it was a meme before or not, whether you thought it was just this cheap tactic, or whether you thought it was just purely marketing, these coins will have no value. If they have value, what does that mean? What does that mean for Hart's Law? What does that mean for Richard? What does that mean for getting people to come over? Because there is a reason. If you're a whale or just have a few coins, or if you're just a person who wants to, provide liquidity, and again, remove the fact that you don't want to play with meme coins, you don't want to play with all these other things. You like RH coins. I love RH coins too. That's my jive. I'm RHMax, right? Zoom out, and if you think about the bigger picture of building this ecosystem, wouldn't it be amazing? And one of the coolest, best onboarding options ever, to have these copies have value because people believe it. Maybe they'll use them for something, maybe they won't later on, but they're able to come in and see other products that may be way superior. How many people came into crypto? I know I came into crypto just trading shitcoins and stuff. I did. I think a lot of people did. I might even say most people came into crypto because they seen the green and red candles going everywhere, and they thought, hey, this is a fun, interesting place. I want to play around. Now, what they became after that is a different story. They may have just found best, truest, greatest ecosystem and just stayed there, and that's all they wanted. But they had to come in some way. And and if they weren't coming from nowhere, they had to be incentivized enough to come from another place because this new place was giving them that much more. And that's what I think Richard is doing. I think that's what he wants. I think that's what everyone should want for the long term. Short term, are we going to see him, talk about a bunch of coins that are not RH coins? Probably. Short term, are we going to not have everything just focused on buying Pulse and PulseX and Hex and Incentive Coin and all the stuff that we love as far as his coins and blue chips and things that are healthy for the ecosystem? Probably. Does that mean it's a bad thing? Does it mean it's unhealthy? Casino, Being the casino versus playing the casino. If you want a network to grow and you want to bring the most people in ever, you have to appeal to more than one type of person. And as a true-blooded Hexagon, is there a little bit of pain in me that's like, oh, Hex is down. Nobody, there's all these other things that are getting shilled that are not Hex. And, and of course, Pulse and PulseX and stuff too. Sure. But I learned to push that to the side and think, okay, that's one thing. Maybe that's what I want. That's what I like. But what do I prioritize more? Do I prioritize, Richard just talking about Hex all day and just like doing all that stuff in PulseChain? Or do I think this guy's pretty smart? He's smarter than me. He's smarter than most people. So if I don't understand something he's doing, maybe it's because I don't have the full picture. And if I trust him and his mission to get glory, you don't do that by making mistakes after mistake after mistake and not having a plan. You do that by doing the opposite of that. You do that by having a plan, executing, testing theories, doing outrageous stuff from time to time if you need to. But as long as everything maps back to the mission of the ideals and the projects and everything, doing well, maybe we don't have the full picture. And why would we, right? Why would he leak the full picture of what he's going to do? Wow. Even if he had a plan every week, he's going to tweet about a new thing. Maybe he's already got that. He's already got 6 months ahead of time. He's like, all right, every week I'm going to do this different thing. Maybe we're the first, we're going to get the bridge working first. We're going to talk about the price action a little bit. When that dies down, then we're going to start doing that free airdrop copies over the next, 6 weeks or so. We're going to do the farms, incentivize that, bring people in. I think this guy has a plan. And again, even when I don't understand it, I'm like, he probably has a bigger frame than I do into this whole thing because he's the one, he's the founder. So anyways, what's up, Hexagon? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. He's trying to onboard others. I think even beyond that. So I think at the most basic level, he's trying to onboard others. But again, I think he's trying to prove Hart's Law. He's trying to prove liquidity bonding and its effects and its the value, the network effect and the value of the network, people coming in and doing these things that seem impossible for now. So again, everyone thought world's largest airdrop meme, right? Oh yeah, get your copy of your coins. That's just for you to get in and then you'll dump them because nobody cares. What if they have real value, sustainable value, not just pump and dump stuff? Like what if they actually become bonded to their other pairs, but they're much cheaper? And whether you can use them or not, whether different, some meme coins, nothing has to switch over, but chain link and stuff, it doesn't matter, any of that stuff. What matters if people are interested in participating and providing value. That's what gives things value. It's not what you think. It's not what I think. I think Richard's thinking about it a little bit higher level than all of us. So it's not, you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a cultist. You just have to think, at least me, I take a step back when he does something, he tweets about something, or he's doing the meme coin stuff or whatever. I'm like, boy, I'd like to hear some good Hex and PulseChain news. But then I think, wait. I tell myself, wait. All part of the plan. So it's good. It's good. What's up, Lario? What's happening? So that is the staircase. So how do we get the staircase to heaven? I think that is part of the plan. I believe he has a plan, all this stuff that he wants to see happen, and he may, change things or move things around as he needs to. But in general, getting from, just launching the chain to, the highest potential PulseChain and Hex and all this stuff, I think it's a process, and that is the staircase to heaven. That is there'll be bumps along the way. It'll take time. It may test you in certain ways. Certainly test me from time to time. Unfortunately, you don't get really rewarded. What's the Naval quote? It's like, living a life of integrity pays off in the long run, but it just takes a long time. Something like that. Shout out to Naval Ravikant, one of the most awesome people on earth. A philosopher that I follow a lot. Yeah, it's I think that is staircase to heaven. And I think if you're along for the ride, I know I'm buckled up and You know, I've been following Richard for 6 years, been waiting for PulseChain for 2 years. It launched. You know, if you feel yourself having expectations, you know what to do to stop having those and stop getting disappointed, because if you're trying to think of things, again, the Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger deal, I at least try to only think about things that are both important and knowable. If it's not knowable, but it's important, I'm just speculating, right? I don't know anything. If it's knowable but not important, what's it matter if I know it or not? So if it's both knowable and important, then that's something I choose to spend time on, or at least I try to. I avoid, spending time on stuff that's not, because you're just guessing. And again, expectations equal to disappointment if you're not, if you're just sitting there waiting, like, oh, when is Richard going to put my coins? I try not to do that. I'll say that way. I think there's better ways to go about it, and I'm not perfect either, for sure, but I try to. Yeah, 2025. I know. I think Somi saying nothing matters until 2025 is like Richard saying don't have any expectations. Everyone hears it a million times, but they just don't internalize it. Like, they don't get it. They're like, no, really, you shouldn't have expectations. But he's like, and then people complain when, about whatever, single side staking or otherwise, where we're testing at V4 or whatever, the flavor of the week that's going on, hex price go down, whatever it may be. And he's like, they don't have expectations. I'm like, yeah. When I see this stuff happens, that isn't price go up, I'm like, well, I didn't expect it to just go up like that. I think it will eventually, my personal opinion, but I'd expect it to today. So I'm not quite so disappointed. What's up, Brian? Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. I every once in a while, I'll take a topic and speak freely on it, and just try to lay out what I'm thinking and what I think is useful. So hopefully perspective. Perspective it is. That's the hardest thing. Perspective. Having perspective of what, like, other people's perspective, understanding why they think about the things they do, super powerful, and a superpower as well. What's up, Fox Modern? Yeah, hashtag free Somi. Hashtag free friends. We miss Somi on the Twitter. A lot of good content. I've been like watching his videos on YouTube. Knock on wood, he's still good there. And tweeting some of his stuff, just because I can't retweet it if you're not tweeting his. There's another Somi account, by the way. I can show you all this. You guys want some Somi alpha? Not that one. I automatically click on profile, but let me go back to, again, this is just a dummy account for Twitter. Is it this one? No. Yeah, this one, Crypto Feel. So I'll drop this in here. It may or may not be our friend Somi's backup account. May or may not be. Nobody sell the DeFi anyways. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to lack sound decentralized money. A lot of reasons for that. So it may not be that way forever. Truth, visionary leader. He really is. People don't give him enough credit. They really don't. And it's so easy to doubt him. I don't know what it is. It's like, again, I have this totally different perspective because I've been following him forever. So it's much easier for me to be like, yeah, it's much easier for me to not have expectations, I guess. But a lot of people, it seems to be very hard to do that. I mean, you're a human being. You're going to have expectations, but avoiding them and making them minimal seems to be a good idea, especially when someone says, I do not work for you. I will not tell you timelines. You do not know all this information. Yeah, I like this one too, from Extronaut. Well said. Well said. But the internet's such a good place to complain. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. It's put in questions. I didn't expect to talk about Validators so much in this either, but some good conversation from Keeper's Way, trying to keep it interesting. Appreciate that as well. I was just a little hyped up in there earlier because my freaking headphones didn't work so well, and did a bunch of exercise, which I'm about to do again here in a few minutes because it is beautiful outside. So wrapping up, get your questions in, and we got some streams coming next week. Tomorrow I got Dipcatcher, maybe Cryptographics, and OG Mike coming on. Sounds like we'll get into the much more the PulseX and copies. And Dipcatcher actually he went down a rabbit hole. He did some pretty good research on it too. So I think that's all I got. Let's see. New farms. Richard tweeting anything? Let's see what he tweeted. Catch up on Richard and I'll call it a day here. Yeah, tweet about the Pepe farms. And then, yeah, he seems to be in the mode of copies. He seems to be on promote copies time. So that's what I would, if I were going to expect anything, I personally expect to see Richard promoting copies of coins for the next few weeks. Seems like that's what he's doing. So bigger picture, everyone, bigger picture. Thank you, Dark Matter. Appreciate that. Appreciate you as well, Crypto Truth. And yeah, hope everyone out there is having a great Sunday. Holiday weekend coming up. If you're in America, happy America Day coming up in a couple days. USA. I do love my country. And hope we keep kicking butt and getting better. Because yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Scivive and 5555. We are out.